What is up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. We are going to be diving into this thing, and unfortunately I was in the middle of doing things, as you guys can see, and I deleted a couple clips because I'm a noob. But we haven't gotten very far. Let me show you guys the deal. So long story short, the wooden thing is still on it. You guys can see that the engine is technically in there, and I don't know how I did this, so yeah, it feels a little frustrating, but I'm not gonna go back and undo what I just did. It's very simple, but it's kind of a, you'll see. For all of you guys that are just now joining us, this car we picked up from Benji, which is the pull apart master for AE86s. We rescued it from him, started piecing it together, cleaned it out. It was a rat's nest in here, painted it, did some rust repair, not all of it, some. Put taillights, made it look a little pretty. Fixed the engine bay, and we then found a K24 TSX, parted it out, got a W58 transmission from a stranger that was local, made an aluminum plate, adapter plate for both engine and transmission, and now we are at the part where we're going to be mounting it in the car. Okay, so step number one is coming to our pile of 86 stuff, which is kind of all over the place, and we're going to pick out our number one part for the build, which is this crusty old transmission mount that we had for the other engine, or the other transmission combo. And this one we will be utilizing to build off of this for that transmission. Not the most comfortable situation. So right off the top, it doesn't even fit. Because of this, we can't get any farther up in there. But what we can do is flip it up backwards and get a total of 2 bolts on there, and it actually has a perfect little cutout for this. And we could make this work as long as we reinforce it. For now, though, we are going to mount these two right here for the sake of it not falling in my face. If you guys notice, this is where I will be grabbing my mounting location for the transmission, and if it's like the bolts I need to go from here to there, it's pretty much this little plate. So it should be fairly simple. We'll just whip up very basic setup and it should work very easy, actually. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sacrifice a glove. I wonder if this is gonna work. In theory it should, right? Theory. Oh, it's working. Okay, it's officially floating. So we've done a bit of get on this, right?
Yes, as they saw.
Can we have a lift off, Adrian? What? Yeah, lift off.
Lift off.
Oh, lift. Yes.
Lift off. Oh.
Let's see how she looks. With the wood. Keep going. The fitment, it's going to be a close call for the hood already, and we just got it there. Pretty much good to go, right?
Send it.
Send it. All right. Well, this is how you K-swap a AE86. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Broke man style.
Broke man. Get to work. They want to see your booty.
My booty?
Yeah.
It's not for free.
If you guys are interested in his OnlyFans, hit me up. The link in the description. I kind of did a little bit of ghetto-ness, and I threw I jammed a screwdriver in there so I can get it perfectly level or centered in the tunnel. And it does well. I mean, it's not going to be the most perfect thing ever, but it's in its spot. So this is on backwards. Essentially, it would be like this regularly, and so now it's backwards, but it works out because it has this little cutout, which works out with the way that the transmission opens up. So all we have to do technically is go from here to here, and I've been doing a little bit of brainstorming, and I think we got the best recipe. So it's not in our way. 1.6. Yeah, we'll go for 1.6. Let me close this out. So 1.6 inches from each bolt edge to the other bolt edge, and that'll be our width. We'll be using one of these bad boys. Let's whip something up real quick. So it's pretty simple. It's already set, so we're just gonna make sure it doesn't move on us. Pardon this whole mess. This is all K-swap stuff, and that's all 86 stuff. So there's nowhere to work. So we're gonna make it stupid simple, and we're just gonna use the same edge that's already on here to scribe it. So that gives us exactly what we need. And then we cut there. Not the cleanest cuts, but we'll clean them up in a second. Wait for these to cool down a second, and we'll get back to work. Okay, now we're gonna measure our outer plate because the other one is going to be going inwards, so let's measure the other. We're gonna cut it a little on the long side. Yeah, 4.5 should be like right there. Same technique, we're just gonna scribe it. As long as both ends are exactly where they need to be, this will cut a straight line. Try and do it without it falling over. Once it's all said and done, it's going to look something like that, and we'll be able to get some bolts into both of these sides, and then it'll be reinforced so that it kind of holds it all together. So, by the way, I know you guys have been seeing this car in the background of today's video. It is not mine. My sister's first car, so we're going to be giving this to her. We actually took yesterday off of the shop. We picked this thing up for her, and she's about to come home from school. We're going to play a nice little prank on her so that she can not expect it, hopefully. He just knew that we were messaging the guy, but we never confirmed anything, and we actually told her that the car sold. So, yeah, this will be a nice little surprise for her. Let him hear it.
Okay.
Needs a little bit of touch-up work, but... I'm gonna fix the exhaust.
I missed a button. I missed the button. He just left me. Oh crap.
The actual color of the car does no justice in the dark. It's whenever you get out in the sun. It's super dirty, of course. That's what 3 hours of driving looks like. So this is the view she's gonna have from her first car. She's a spoiled little brat. I don't know who gets a 370Z as their first car, but people nowadays are spoiled. And yes, she's gonna watch this and she's gonna know I said that. Isn't she spoiled?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm also like a little spoiled.
yeah, he got a Mustang GT.
You got a Mustang, you know. Sorry, got your shitty little Civic.
So the idea is we're going to be standing back here recording her from way back here. This is actually my parents' garage. And so we're going to be sitting here waiting for her to walk through that door and see this beast, and then we'll get a nice little zoom in. Come here. Give me a hug. I went to pick it up.
Oh, so cute.
Dang.
I didn't get this review.
Right?
I just went because it's all Facebook.
Huh?
Is that the gas pedal?
It is.
Kind of looks weird. Hold on. This is all me right here. This is all me.
Saying we might have to put the mask on.
Yeah.
So then YouTube might not like that you're not wearing a mask.
I gotta retest this just to double check. I think it might have moved. No. You're not supposed to see this. This is... Okay. You guys caught me. I'm actually fixing it. I made a mistake and I found a way that I can make it better. Not really a mistake, but okay. So what's going on is I'm gonna cut this off. One, it's on there tight and it'll work, but the pressure going down on the transmission, you guys can see it flex just a touch. If I can see a way to improve it, we'll do it on the spot. Huh. The question is, if I put that angle, will it go all the way down? How many times have I installed this and uninstalled it?
I don't know, like 6 or 7?
6 or 7 on camera, maybe.
Oh, that is true.
Okay, you can see the idea. The idea is that angle. Right there. Don't worry, kids, we weren't looking. It's one of those where you click the button and look away, so. Imagine putting it on with a bunch of ratchets. You guys can see it corners into the chassis, so it has more strength this way as well as downward. So it's pretty much as strong as it's gonna get. The only thing we can do is add maybe another bolt up here or extend this slightly so it can bolt into this other side. But in order for any of this to even work, we need to have access to the bolt holes, which I actually cut off again because I wasn't happy with the location and the build. So what we're gonna do now is drill a little bit of an access hole, so that way we can do it here and then also drill into there, because as of right now, there's no really accurate way to drill these holes out for it to be perfect, and we don't have much room for error, and I don't want to re-weld this. The teeth are gone. So, I just think the metal was... We weren't going fast at all, but the metal is just too dang hard on this. They don't make things like they used to, I guess. I almost forgot my flathead screwdriver up there, but as you guys can see, she's mounted, sturdy. I could pretty much, I could do pull-ups on this thing, and she won't go anywhere. And so we pretty much got it braced off to where I'm happy with it now. It took a minute to get it right, and it doesn't look the prettiest, but I guarantee you it will hold for sure. Got a few bolts going in, so the transmission setup is pretty much complete. Is it just me, or does this look like it's about to rip? That'd suck if it just fell on my face, right? Look at that. Probably not the safest. Now, since we're doing this not the typical way, not the typical fashion, a normal person or a normal build would take this oil pan off, put the subframe up, and then add a spacer between the subframe to drop the subframe, and then order a $1,000 to $1,500 oil pan so that we can make it all work according to them. The thing is, well, one, that's a pretty steep budget, and two, we have a completely different drivetrain in this from here back, so it may give us different options. So before we go happy and buy everything that we can for this thing, I want to see the obvious, to see if we can take this off and then put the subframe that we have on there, which it should not do, but you know, it may be possible. So let's do that right now. We're gonna take this sucker off. bad news from the beginning. So first thing is the cross member literally crosses right here at the lowest point of the engine. Not good. This is why you should do your oil changes, people, so it doesn't look like that. I mean, it's a Honda though, it should last forever, right? We have only unbolted the oil pan, and at this point we're going to see. So the thing is, the biggest issue a lot of people have is that they don't like changing the engine, so that they don't change the handling by not changing the geometry or where everything sits. We're going to try to do the same thing. So the idea is we're going to bolt as much as we can onto the car before it starts to interfere with the engine, and then see where that takes us, pretty much. Obviously this stuff isn't clean yet. We're just trying to see if this is something we can work with. So far so good. I mean, this connects this to the actual suspension side. So technically the only thing that doesn't work is the subframe as of right now. But if we can make, say, a custom subframe, okay guys, so we have pretty much put on most of the suspension actually, and it fits surprisingly well. Nothing really interferes for now. The biggest issue is the subframe. Let me show you guys. So obviously these are all rusty parts, and these are all old. They will probably all get upgraded and something decent, but the actual mounting point on the subframe, on the suspension components, it all plays nicely with the actual engine. Apparently, I was in the process of putting the suspension. We got a whole 3 bolts up top, and on this side, this one's not even in, so we only got 1 in. Apparently, Benji sent us the car with just one, or with no driver's side shocks, just 2 passenger sides, and apparently on 86s it does matter because the way that they sit. Either that, or he gave me a suspension for a different car, I don't know. So the subframe, it's literally gonna sit right here. It goes from here across the oil pan to the other side. I'm gonna try to modify this, but before that I'm gonna try to position the engine in the best position it can be, and then we'll see where that takes us. That's gonna be on the next video. We got as much done as we could for this one. We're gonna be trying to prep the BRZ for Drift Week in the next couple days. If you guys want to see that, it's got an exhaust leak, and we're getting some white smoke out of the rear still, even after doing the head gaskets. I'm praying it's not a like split block or head, but what can you do? You know, bad luck, I guess. But yeah, so we're gonna try and see if we can get this thing buttoned up for Drift Week. Worst case scenario, I don't want to say I'm going to take it regardless, because that would be a very dumb thing for me to do, and then it costs me more money. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated, and but yeah, that'll be all for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.